Residents of Jagersfontein in the Free State are suing the owners of the diamond mine involved in that dam wall collapse. Jagersfontein Developments, that's the company at the center of this tragedy, insists that it complied with safety legislation before the dam burst on Sunday. One person was killed, over 300 homes destroyed. The families have appointed Phosa Loots Attorneys now to file a lawsuit. In fact, lawyer Andries Nkome joins us now via our video link for more on this story. Andries, thanks very much indeed for coming on. Tell us about your appointment to this case and what residents have told you when they approached you.
Good morning to you and good morning to your viewers. We were approached by the municipality of Kopanong,
right?
Simply because immediately after the dam wall collapsed, their system, the sewer system was flooded with mud, their water system was also damaged, electricity supply had been damaged also, and telephone communications also was disrupted. Now, we were appointed by the municipality to say we must pursue all the parties that are supposed to be held liable for the disaster that took place there. Over and above the municipality, we were also instructed by the individual family members who lost houses in the calamity. We were also approached by those that had lost a loved one and those that were injured. So we represent essentially both the municipality and the residents.
Right. So there are two separate cases then that you'll be arguing then on behalf of the municipality, because those are very different cases, isn't it? On the part of the municipality, it will no doubt be around infrastructure, and then on the part of the families, it'll be a loss of their homes, a loss of their belongings, damage to their own properties and personal losses.
Yes, in respect of the individual family members that have suffered losses as a result of the calamity, we are looking at instituting a class action because of the number of people involved. We know that 164 houses were damaged, and there's still an assessment as whether or not there could be more. In respect of those that have been displaced, we're also looking at including them in the very same class action. Now, that will be a different action compared to what the municipality seeks to institute. The municipality seeks to institute action for damage to their infrastructure. And that's a totally separate claim, but we are representing them both.
There's also the issue, Andries, of things like personal losses. The people who escaped this tragedy, who had their houses destroyed, they escaped literally with the clothing on their back. So massive personal losses there. And then, of course, there's the issue of agricultural losses, losses to livestock.
Look, the extent of damage that the dam wall collapse has caused is quite extensive. You have to understand that people have lost livestock, people have lost even their clothing. There's a house in which there was 2-meter high mud inside the house itself. So you'd understand that everything else, from your food to your clothing to furniture, has been completely damaged, and there's no way in which it can be recovered. All that needs to happen is that the mining house must be held responsible for this and make sure that it brings people's lives back to the condition in which it was prior to the collapse.
Have you been in touch with the mining house, the owner of the mining house that's responsible for maintaining that mine dam?
It looks as if there is an attempt not to disclose who the mine owners are. And that, we say, it makes our clients quite angry, because instead of the mine owners themselves, the shareholders coming over to say, we are the shareholders of this mining operation, and this is how, or the license that permitted us to operate, they have not done so. Instead, they have sent out a lawyer whom we had a meeting on Wednesday in Jagersfontein with, and he came through to say they are making an offer of 20 million rand. And we say, but you cannot on your own, out of nowhere, come through and try to make an offer without us having been informed of who sent you, what conditions that the amount is for, and whether or not it's going to do away with our client claims for the losses that they suffered. So therefore, there is quite a distinct attempt at making sure that we don't get to the truth.
Right.
All that we are now doing is to make sure that we assess our own number of clients, assess our own extent of damages, and only then are we going to make sure that we will be able to find the truth about what transpired and who's supposed to be liable.
Yeah, I mean, one gets the sense with that offer, as you say, of 20 million rand, that it would have been sort of an easy way out for those who are responsible for what happened.
They're seeking to have an easy way out indeed. And we are not going to make it that easy. All that we need to do is to make sure that justice prevails in Jagersfontein. And we're going to make sure that we make a full extent of the assessment of the damage. And only then can we sit around the table to say, this is the party that's supposed to be held liable. They fail to comply. Like, for example, we now know that there isn't a mining license under which that slurry was operated. And that operation of a slurry falls squarely within the definition of the Mineral and Petroleum Resources Development Act. So they were supposed to have had a license. And for that reason, we are saying they are supposed to be held both criminally and civilly liable.
All right, Andries Nkome, thanks very much indeed for coming on to the program. A lawyer representing both the municipality and the people who have been affected by that disaster in Jagersfontein, set to launch a class action suit. That's Andries Nkome joining us there via our video link.